So, Father Dave, I'm guessing you've seen the movie Conclave. It's going viral at the moment in the wake of Pope Francis's death. People thinking, is this what the conclave's really like?
Mm-hmm.
And there's a famous speech where Cardinal Lawrence, he speaks about certainty, and he says he wants a pope that doubts. What are your thoughts on that?
Sure. Yeah, I have seen the movie, Lucas, and I enjoyed it like a lot of people for the cinematography and all the amazing cast. But it was a very disappointing film, really, for anyone who's got faith or knows much about how these things operate or done a modicum of the cardinal's fictional cardinal's speech talks about certainty being the enemy of unity. Somehow, certainty, he says, or implies that it's intolerance, and he wants a pope who's going to doubt.
Certainty. Certainty is the great enemy of unity. Certainty is the deadly enemy of tolerance.
That needs a lot of unpacking because it's pretty much a Hollywood version of the truth, and it's a pretty superficial take on faith. So, doubt is part of life generally. Lots of things we learn to doubt, and doubt's actually part of growing up. Do we doubt ourselves? Do we doubt other people? Do we doubt authority? Which authority should we follow? There's a healthy element to doubt. Doubt, though, isn't necessarily the same as asking questions. So if you've got the gift of faith, and not everyone has the gift of faith, if you've got the gift of faith in Jesus Christ, that he's risen, that his church is his extension of his mission through space and time, you believe in what the Catholic Church believes, you can ask lots of questions about that. In fact, you should, particularly if you've got the capacity and the time to have an education, then you should ask lots of questions about what all that means and how it all fits together and how does it really affect people's day-to-day lives, etc. Now, that's not the same as having lots of doubts about the truths of the faith. Certainty is a gift that those with faith have. It's a certainty, though it's not a mathematical kind of certainty. It's not a scientific proposition. It's certainty that Jesus Christ is alive, that God loves us, and we're called into that relationship and all the various teachings that flow from that core understanding. So certainty is a good thing. It's not an enemy of unity, whatever that means. It's not somehow the same as intolerance. I can be really certain of what God has taught and what the church teaches. It doesn't mean I'm therefore not tolerant in a positive sense to live with, work alongside, talk to at depth people who have different faith or no faith, or I don't know what they believe. That's not a problem for me. Now, there are going to be some red lines that can't be crossed as a Catholic, and ditto for other people. Well, that's why we have a public square, we have a democracy to try and work that stuff through. But the point is, certainty is a gift. It allows us to do extraordinary things. It allows the saints and the martyrs to say, you know what, I'm going to give my whole life to this beautiful truth of Jesus Christ, the mystery of his person. And if necessary, I give my life for that. I put my body on the line, not because it might not be true or I don't know what, because it's certainly true. But doubt is also part of our experience of growing up and having these times in life where we need to really examine ourselves and others. But don't doubt Jesus Christ. Don't doubt the Father's love. Don't doubt the Spirit's action. That's not a virtue. Mm-hmm.
There's a question many people ask, and Cardinal Lawrence brings it up in this fictitious speech he addresses to the cardinals before the conclave starts. He says even Christ was not certain at the end. And people question that. People who don't know much about the Catholic faith, they think, was this a reasonable point? What would be your answer to that?
Yeah, look, that's a very irritating line that no educated cardinal would ever recite. So in it, what he's getting at is, on the cross, Jesus Christ quotes the first line of Psalm 22.
Even Christ was not certain at the end. Dio mio, perché me hai abbandonato, he cried out in his agony at the 9th hour on the cross. Our faith is a living thing precisely because it walks hand in hand with doubt. If there was only certainty and no doubt, there would be no mystery, and therefore no need for faith.
In the Hebrew, it's Eli, Eli, lama sabachthani. My God, why have you forsaken me? Now, this isn't someone saying, oh, I've got it all wrong, and where's God? I don't know if he exists. That's a very modern version of what it might mean. For the ancient world, reciting the first line of a psalm implied and intended the whole psalm. And if you go and read the psalm, which I'm pretty sure a cardinal would have done at some point, you'll see that it's really a joyous ending around salvation. The suffering is real. This is the suffering servant of the Lord. But this is the song of salvation. Psalms were to be sung. So Jesus Christ roars from the cross. Eli, Eli, lama sabachthani. He's not having some existential doubt about whether his Father exists. He knew his mission. He went to the cross knowing he was fulfilling this salvific event. He was the Passover. So that is really, really shallow and misleading, bluntly. And I don't think a cardinal would ever possibly think it, let alone say it.